Hey there, it's Sheryl, mental toughness coach, published author, speaker, and mother of a couple of great kids who happen to be high school and now college Division I student athletes. Today we're going to talk about a quick guide for players to perform their best under pressure, especially when it really matters. Keep in mind that it's very common for players to practice extremely well, but then to get into a competitive situation and not play their best, especially situations that really matter to them. So it's extremely common, and that's the good news. The bad news is that it's not very conducive to them being able to play their best, and that can be very frustrating for them and for coaches and for parents. They get worried and they just don't have the tools to manage that worry so they can play their best. There's someone by the name of John Wortman, and he's done a lot of amazing research and written articles for Psychology Today, the Huffington Post, and the list goes on and on and on. He supports what I have been teaching all along, and I want to share this with you. It has to do with how players can play their best, especially in high-pressure competitive situations that matter. The first thing is for them to understand and really recognize what they're feeling. Excuse me, if they're going into a game or a situation that really matters to them, they need to understand, are they fearful? Are they fearful? Are they nervous? What is going on? So the very first step in them being able to manage what's going on is to have an awareness of what's going on. The second thing they need to do is to release. In other words, they're going to recognize how they feel. In other words, they might feel worried because the other team is much bigger or more experienced. That's the first step. The second step is to release. And again, they can do this by taking a box breath. I talk a lot about breathing, but it's so important. It can be so helpful, and it's so simple. So they're going to recognize, let's say, for example, they're worried. They're going to take a box breath. Usually about 3 to 5 will do it. And then they're going to immediately go back to setting a strategy. So remember, recognize, then release by doing a couple box breaths. And then the third thing is strategize. In other words, think of 1 or 2 things that's completely under their control that they can do to play their absolute best. What this does is it helps redirect them from worrying about things that are completely out of their control, like the other team, the referees, the weather, anything else that might be going on. So if they can go through these 3 steps, they're likely to be able to compete under pressure at their best ability possible. So just to recap, recognize however they're feeling, however it is, and then release by doing a few box breaths, and then strategize. Think about a couple things that they have 100% control over so that they can do that's very important to them doing their best, and then shift their focus to that. I hope you found these couple tips very helpful. I'd like you to keep in mind that I have a wealth and a library of information that is for free on my website, so I encourage you to check out the videos and blogs there. Also, I work with kids one-on-one. I provide a lot of services for teens and the players, and also for coaches. So please do reach out to me. I'm here to help any way I can. I'm also glad to meet with you for a half an hour for free so we can talk about how I can best serve your team or your club. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.